So today I want to start with a story about a boy and a butterfly. So a boy went outside and saw a butterfly in its cocoon. So he took it inside and he watched for hours this butterfly struggling to get out of this cocoon to break free. So eventually the boy got scissors and he cut a little hole, a slit into the cocoon, thinking it was helping the butterfly be free and to fly. Well, the butterfly came out and its wings were weak, he was frail, and he wasn't able to fly because he wasn't fully developed. Little did that boy know that he was stunning the progression of that butterfly. In order for that butterfly to be able to fly, it had to go through the struggle of breaking through that cocoon. So keeping this story in mind, I want to persuade you guys today to try to look at adversity as an opportunity to grow rather than a barrier and a burden. We all need adversity because it strengthens our mental toughness, provides us with life lessons that can be used to help other people with similar struggles, and it makes us appreciate the good things and blessings in our lives. So I'm going to start with one reason I'm wanting to urge you to look at this with a different perspective, is that it produces mental toughness and maturity. We all need struggles. We all need adversity. Whether we like it or whether we don't, we need it, and it's a vital part of our lives. What would happen if we all lived this life with no struggle, no hardships, no adversity, no failure? Some of you may think, oh my gosh, that's great. I would love to live that life. I would love to have a perfect life. But that's not how that works. In reality, if you live that kind of life, when the storms do come, if you're living in a life with rainbows and unicorns, all rainbows and unicorns, and a storm comes, you're not going to know how to handle it, and it's going to totally take you off your feet. So you cannot grow without struggle, and you cannot get stronger without resistance. We're given adversity because we're strong enough to get through it and to thrive through it. Content editor Renee Jacks reported in a HuffPost article in September of 2013 that many famous people faced many challenges and failures before success. For example, Thomas Edison was the light bulb inventor. It turns out that he had thousands of attempts to create the light bulb before he was actually successful, which he was successful, so that's all that matters. And then, like Stephen King, this book author, he got rejected by 30 different publishers before he was actually accepted. And now he has over 300 million books sold, like copies sold, so that's really good. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team, and he used that as motivation to work harder, and he's probably one of the greatest of all time in the NBA now. When you face adversities of many kinds, I encourage you to think about how much it's mentally strengthening you and how it's going to mentally strengthen you in the long run. So, on to my next reason. We need adversity because it provides us with a story and valuable lessons that we can share with others that maybe struggle with the same things. There are people in our lives going through storms, and there's people that feel like they have nobody to relate to. They need a friend, they need somebody to talk to, and people don't want to hear stories about people who have it all together and get everything they want and have this perfect life. People want to hear stories about others who have struggled and have made it into a gift. On January 7, 2015, Elizabeth Street wrote an article for Learning Liftoff regarding Oprah Winfrey's life. Oprah's early life was terrible. She was abused, she was in poverty, she was raped, and she was a teen mom, but her baby died right after birth. So I can only imagine what all she went through. But she used her struggle in her early life to motivate her in the future, and she uses that to make an impact on other people now. She found a way to overcome her young trauma, and she used her experience to motivate her audience through her talk show. She told her audience, "Turn your wounds into wisdom," and that just kind of hit me. I felt like that was a good quote. Oprah's story mattered. My story matters. Your story matters, but you can't tell people your story. You can't make an impact on someone if you're still sulking and you're still dwelling in this past struggle and you won't get past it. You have to get past it and let your your story be used for good. So now to my last reason. The last reason I want to convince you that adversity is necessary is that it will teach you how to value and recognize the blessings in your life. In a blog she published, writer and influencer Joyce Santos makes a valid point on her website. If life were always a bed of roses, how could you appreciate the roses? If everything was perfect and everything was beautiful all the time, we would not be able to appreciate those little blessings, and that is important in life. We need to enjoy those and appreciate those. A study by Alyssa Croft from the University of British Columbia and her colleagues published in the journal Psychological Science in 2014 that going through hardships may help us better handle challenging circumstances and increase our appreciation for positive times, like little positive times. When you're faced with adversity, just remember that if you don't ever face the ugly, you will never be able to appreciate the beauty. So now that I'm getting close to the end, I want to strongly encourage you again to consider and reflect on these 3 points that I just gave you. If you're in struggle and you're wondering, why is this happening to me? Just think, you need this adversity, okay? And despite the fact that hardship can occasionally be overpowering and it can be unpleasant and we hate it, but those advantages that result from overcoming that struggle will outweigh it all. So I'll end with this. Things do not grow on mountaintops, they grow in the valley. Things don't grow on mountaintops. It's in the valley where they grow and flourish. You're not always going to have the mountaintop experience. You're going to be in the valley probably 95% of your life. So you have to learn how to live through it and to get through it and to fight and use it for good. You'll face hardships. That is guaranteed. This is a life of hardships. It's a corrupted world. You're gonna face hardships. And when you do, try to have a bigger picture in mind. Try not thinking, you cannot think, why am I going through this? Why is this me? And expect it to get better. It does not get better if you're down. You have to learn to fight through it. You have to learn how to have a better outlook on it. And last thing, you will grow through what you go through. So growing, you have to face adversity. You have to go through struggles. You have to go through heartbreak to grow. So just keep that in mind. It's natural and it's part of life, and you just have to get used to it. Adversity is needed. It is a necessity. But you do grow through what you go through. So I just want to end with that. Thank you.